Shalom, brothers and sisters. Grace, mercy, and peace be unto you from Yahuwah, our Father, and Yahusha. He is the Messiah, the one that carries the burden of Yah, his voice, our high priest, soon coming king. Hear, O Yeshua, Yahuwah, who is our mighty one. He is one. There is no other mighty one in existence than Yahuwah, and Yahusha is his voice. This is Brother Daoud coming to you again to bring you the wilderness. This is part 2. As you see, all that we learned in Christianity was a lie. There's no rapture. No one's going to float up in the sky and go to heaven to be with he who is seated upon the throne. Everything is about an inheritance, a people that were robbed and spoiled, dispossessed because of their disobedience. Now we're trying to find our way back. And the only way that we can do that is through the book. And this book was written for and by the children of Yeshua. It is our history book, and everyone else is trying to steal it. Let's begin. Yashayahu, you would say Isaiah 66, 1-3. 1. Thus saith His Majesty, Yahuwah, the heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. Here's the question. Where's the house that you build for me? And where's the place of my rest? 2. For all those things hath mine hand made, all of the materials that you would build this house, they come from him. And all those things have been since I created them, said Yahuwah. But to this man will I look, indeed to him that is poor and of a contrite spirit. He is repentant. He is ready, willing, and able to change his ways, and trembleth at my word. Is that you? 3. He that killeth an ox is as if he slew a man. He's speaking of sacrifices. You cannot sacrifice anything here on earth. The reason? He's already supplied for you a high priest in the heavens. If you sacrifice anything here, you have denied him. He cannot make an atonement for you. He that sacrificeth a lamb, as if he cut off a dog's neck. That's how much of an abomination it is for you to do it. He that offereth an oblation, a drink offering, a grain offering, as if he offered swine's blood. He that burns incense, like unto the Queen of heaven, is if he blessed an idol. Yes, they have chosen their own ways, and their soul delights in their abominations. 4. I also will choose their delusions. He's going to take their delusions where they think that they can add months to the calendar and find his feast, and will bring their fears upon them. I will send my ambassadors. They shall speak on my behalf. They shall bring forth a message. There is an alternative. Turn back to me. Turn away from the Gentiles. Because when I called, none of them did answer. When I spake, they did not hear. But they did evil before mine eyes, and chose that in which I delighted not. He's speaking of the month of Easter, transferring his Passover to the woman. 5. Hear the word of Yahuwah. You that tremble at his word. Again, is that you? Your brethren? Listen, all of you who are prophesying on behalf of he who is seated upon the throne. Your brethren that hated you, that cast you out for my name's sake. How many times has that happened to you? With me? I can't even count them. They said, let Yahuwah be glorified. They made you think that he was for him, but all the time they are against him. And when you walked away, they murmured behind your back and told people things like this. He's crazy. But Yah can hear you. He's counting your words, the words that you have spoken against his servants, and they shall be spoken back at you in that day. But he, who's he? Yahuwah, shall appear to your joy, and they shall be ashamed. 6. A voice of noise from the city, a voice from the temple, a voice of Yahuwah that rendereth recompense to his enemies. 7. Before she travailed, before she even carried, she brought forth. Before her pain came, she was delivered of a man-child. 8. Have you heard of any such thing? Who have seen such things? Shall the earth be made to bring forth in one day? Or shall a nation be born at once? For as soon as Tizyaon travailed, she brought forth her children. 9. Shall I bring to birth, and not cause to bring forth? Saith Yahuwah. Shall I cause to bring forth, and shut the womb? Saith the Mighty One. 10. Rejoice you with Yarushalayim. Be glad with her, all you that love her. Rejoice for joy with her, all you that mourn for her. Is that you? The Kedushayim, the assembly. We are all mourning for her. We all say the same thing every day. I just want to go home. I'm tired of this place. It's so wicked. 11. That you may suck and be satisfied with the breast of her consolations. Yarushalayim is likened unto our mother, that you may milk out and be delighted with the abundance of her glory. 12. For thus saith his majesty Yahuwah, behold, I will extend peace to her like a river, and the glory of the Gentiles like a flowing stream. The wealth of the wicked has been stored up for the just. Then shall you suck. You shall be borne upon her sides, and be dandled upon her knees, like being in your mama's lap, and she pulls out the breast, and you suck on that milk. Hey guys, have you ever tried it? It is sweet. It is fulfilling. It's like milk mixed with honey. You get the analogy? 13. As one whom his mother comforteth, so will I comfort you, and you shall be comforted. Not in America, not in Africa, not in Asia, in Yarushalayim. 14. And when you see this, your heart shall rejoice, your bones shall flourish like an herb, and the hand of Yahuwah shall be known towards his servants, and his indignation, his wrath, his fury towards his enemies. 15. For behold, Yahuwah will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind. The ancients, our ancestors, did not understand spacecraft, so they used what they knew: a vehicle, a chariot, a fire in the heavens, a wheel in the middle of a wheel, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. 16. For by fire and by his sword will Yahuwah plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahuwah shall be many. Judgment. 17. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens, behind one tree, in the midst, eating swine's flesh, and the abomination, shellfish, and the mouse, rabbit, shall be consumed together with their diet, saith Yahuwah. 18. For I know their works and their thoughts. It shall come that I will gather all nations and tongues, and they shall come and see my glory. 19. And I will set a sign among them, the Ruah, the Holy Spirit, and I will send those that escape of them unto the nations, his ambassadors, those who will speak on his behalf, bidding our brothers and sisters to return to the old way, which is the good way, that they may find rest for their souls. To Tarshish, Pul, Lud, that draw the bow, to Tubal, Javan, to the isles afar off, that have not heard of my fame, neither have seen my glory. They, my ambassadors, shall declare my glory among the Gentiles. Now do you see what we're here for? What our job is? To spread this message. We're searching out the remnant, the last portion of us that will return. 20. And they shall bring all your brethren for an offering unto Yahuwah out of the nations, on horses, in chariots, in litters, upon mules, swift beasts, to my holy mountain. Yarushal, said Yahuwah, as the children of Yisrael bring an offering in a clean vessel into the house of Yahuwah. We're going to rebuild the way cities. We're going to rebuild the temple. Offerings shall be given, just like before. Who is he talking about? Is it the Europeans? Is it the Africans? Is it the Asians? One group of people he made a covenant with. No one else. And because of that, it's why we've gone through so much. They've tried to destroy us many times. But our Master, His Majesty, Yahuwah, sent His angels. They have protected us in the lands of our captivity for 400 years. And the remnant is beginning to arise and take their place. We are returning to the old way, which is the good way, that we may find rest for our souls. 21. And I will also take of them for priests and for Levites, said Yahuwah. The priesthood will be revived. Then your sacrifices on earth will be accepted. 22. For as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, saith Yahuwah. Here's your promise. If you overcome, if you return to Him, be on the path of years, keep His time, Keep his Shabbats. Keep his feast days. Keep his new moons. Hey, only call upon his name, then your seed and your name shall remain forever. 23. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, Pope Gregory's calendar's gone. All time will be calculated through the moon, the time display. And from one Shabbat to another shall all flesh, let me stop that noise, not all flesh, not the whole world, only Yesharo and the stranger that is attached to us will come to worship before me, said Yahuwah. 24. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me, all of them that hated you and faked it like they were for him, and they're teaching against him. You will see them, for their worm shall not die. Eternal torment, neither shall their fire be quenched. The flaming flame, and they shall be an abhorring unto all flesh. Continue to part 3. Shalom.